What's going on, everybody? Rob A here, and today we're taking a look at Transformers The Last Knight Voyager class Megatron. Here he is, as you can see in package. We've got a, an illustration of Megatron from the films-ish. Well, a drawing of Megatron from the films. Over here, we've got the actual figure itself in the background. You can see some nice paint apps already are visible. It's got some nice gunmetals going on there, a little bit of gold, copper, sort of thing there. Shows a nice image on the side, says Megatron Merciless Tyrant. And on the back here you can see transforms in 22 steps. It turns into this, I'm assuming like a Cybertronian sort of jet. This does not appear to be an Earth vehicle. And of course also look for Autobot Hound on the back there. I did see Hound in the local, I found this at my local Target. They did have Hound, but for $30 for a Voyager class figure, honestly I just wasn't interested enough in Hound to pick him up. So there you have it. So not too much else to say. He has a sword in the package here. And he looks pretty neat. I'm going to kind of use this. I know there's a leader class Megatron coming at some point in the future, but I'm kind of sticking with the Voyager class right now. Just going to get the feel of how the figure works and everything, and see if I want to level up to a leader class figure at some point in the future. But for now, let's check out this Voyager class Megatron right now. Alright guys, so here we have Megatron in vehicle mode, and he's actually really, really cool. I'm very impressed with this figure overall. So you can see it's a pretty nice, fairly sleek jet here. Not too much robot visible underneath, and honestly with the design that they use in those movies, you can't really tell that it's a robot anyway. It just looks like kind of chunks of machine parts, but it actually looks pretty cool. You do get a sword with the set, so we'll go over this really quickly here. So here is Megatron's sword, big old crazy blade on the end there. So that's pretty neat, and it does attach right here on the top, or you might be able to squeak it in right here. This is where it attaches in robot mode, so you could, I guess in theory, have him with this thing on the front, but it's not really meant to go there in this mode. You can sort of see, maybe kind of sort of, there is the little port underneath for a stand, should you want to attach him to a flight stand. And he looked pretty cool doing that. He does have some nice light piping in the cockpit area. The only thing I don't really get, and maybe you guys can kind of explain this to me a little bit in the comments, politely, if you would. I don't really get these. They look like thrusters. They don't look like intakes, which I'm assuming is what they're meant to be, is some form of intakes. But, I mean, with all the little bits and bobs inside there, they look more like thrusters to me, which would make them facing the wrong direction. But I could be totally wrong, so please let me know if I'm totally incorrect in that. But otherwise, you do have a couple little thrusters back here. And yeah, just otherwise a pretty neat vehicle design overall. So, very, very cool. Transformation has many steps, but is not difficult. So what we want to do first is we're going to go ahead, and hopefully I can remember all of this stuff all at once. So first we want to actually lift these bits with the thrusters up, and they tab into the wings, so you can kind of get the wings tabbed out, and then these come up and just kind of out of the way just like this, and then we're gonna bring them down along the sides there. It is a bit scary, at least it was for me for the first time. They are meant to turn, but they are very, very tight. Everything about this guy is nice and solid and tight, and I really do appreciate that. So now you can see we kind of do have the legs sort of exposed here, so we're just going to go ahead and bring those out of the way. And next what we can do is actually bring this section, we're going to unpeg these flaps from this section here, and this whole section is going to come up like this, and then we can bring the legs down, and let's actually complete the legs now. So we're going to turn the legs so that the the wings of the jet are facing in like this. We're going to unpeg the feet, and that's another thing I like. Everything here pegs together really nice and solid. So the wings are pegged into the feet of the robot mode, so we're just going to unpeg those and bring the feet down, and then flip the feet out like that. And now the wing bit, you can see there's a slot here and a tab here on the side. You're just going to bring this around and tab it like that to form the back of the leg. And do the same on the other side. We're just going to bring it down, and forward, and then flip the foot out, which gives them also a really nice ankle tilt. And then flip this around and peg it in nice and solidly there. Definitely not a problem with those pegs. Very, very nice and solid. We can actually lower these flaps now to form the skirt pieces, and we can even do that with these bits as well. You can just twist these around on their little stalk, and that's going to complete the hip skirts for Megatron here. So as you can see, we're starting to get sort of a robot shape out of this deal. So the next thing we want to do is bring these pieces out like this. And then we're going to bring this whole section, we're going to split it apart. These are going to form the arms, of course. So bring these around, and then we're going to actually, you can see there are some slots here, and there are tabs here on the chest piece. So you just want to bring this around and swing those in, and those will tab in, and they tab in nice and solid. There's no problem here. As a matter of fact, when I was first transforming this guy, I didn't even realize that this came apart because it looked just like one solid piece. So that's pretty cool. And you just want to bring out the fists here. Bring out the fists on both sides. We're going to swing Megatron's arm cannon around to the front. It's going to soft click into place, and then the barrel of the gun also just soft clicks into place there. And now one of the last things we want to do is actually bring the cockpit section down and out towards the back so it can lie flat against Megatron's back here. That did actually untab the chest panels a little bit, but shouldn't be a problem. And then you would just want to turn the robot head around, and there you have Megatron in robot mode. Alright, so overall he does have a very, medieval knight looking, aesthetic, while still kind of maintaining to the movie-verse aesthetic as well. And I think for the most part it works. I don't know if I really like this as Megatron necessarily, but he does look like a pretty cool Cybertronian sort of character. And I'll show you guys his face close up here. He does have some piping. I don't know how well it works. I mean, I guess it's kind of doing the job here. I mean, my lights are very indirect, so it may, it might be part of the problem. But other than that, very nice sculpt on his face. He does have some nice armor bits surrounding his head, so that's kind of cool. It does invoke Megatron. It does look vaguely like the previous Megatrons we've gotten. And even if the light piping doesn't necessarily work, I think the red plastic throughout his head really does add a nice pop of color. So his head is on a ball joint, and that stalk is a little bit maneuverable, so you can get some poses out of him up and down. But mostly it's just left to right, but it is a nice smooth left to right. You've got, you know what, I feel like maybe I did this a little wrong, but no, it's correct. It's not tabbing in quite as solidly as it did before, but I may just need to kind of smooth everything out a little bit. There we go. That seems to be fine. Alright, anyway. So he does have nice arm rotation there. Arms go out to the side. The shoulder pauldrons do raise up there, so you can get the arm completely out to the side. He does have a bicep swivel. He's got a nice deep elbow. And you can even wiggle the wrist in and out should you desire to do so. He does have the arm cannon here, and this does raise up as well, so you can get a kind of a classic Megatron firing his arm cannon pose, which it's nice, you know, it's only been 5 movies and we finally get a Megatron with like a proper arm cannon. There's no waist articulation, unfortunately. He does have nice solid leg joints, which, you know, honestly, after Skeletron, I'm just really pleased to get a figure that can kind of hold himself up, you know, even though he can't. I don't know, maybe he can hold himself up? We'll find out. Let's see. Where's that center of balance here? There you go. No hands. But yeah, nice solid leg joints. He does have a thigh swivel. He does have a nice knee bend there. And of course, because of the transformation, you do get a really solid ankle tilt. He can actually tilt his legs all the way out. So you can get he can do the super splits and keep his knees or his feet flat on the floor. Hopefully that's not a thing that he does. He also, of course, comes with this sword that we've seen before. So you can get that. You can put that in his hand. And he can, you know, swing that around fairly well. It would be really nice, especially with characters with swords, to get wrist swivels. I think that's kind of a big deal for me for characters that come with swords. Like, I think that wrist swivel is pretty important, and we're missing that here, but it's not the end of the world. You know, it is what it is, but it would have been nice to see that, to be honest. And of course, we do get a nice spot on his back to place that sword when it is not in use, and you also see the area for the stand as well, the flight stand, so you can get that going on. So overall, a very solid figure. I really do like it, even though I'm not the biggest fan of the movie aesthetic. I think just as a transforming figure, this guy's a lot of fun. Like, he's a lot of fun. He's got a lot of personality to him. I do actually like this design overall, and yeah, I definitely recommend it. I still don't like paying $30 for a Voyager figure, but to be perfectly honest, looking at pictures online and things like that, I think I actually prefer this guy overall to the leader class figure, so I may end up just skipping the leader class figure in favor of this smaller version, just because it's, you know, it's a lot of fun. It still invokes the character perfectly well, I feel, and it's certainly a lot cheaper. So yeah, well, maybe not a lot cheaper. I don't know, what are leaders going for these days? $45? Well, maybe the movie leaders are going to be more expensive because I think it's a premiere edition leader figure or something, so you might get a little bit more on that. Oh, also, you can lean him back a little bit by moving his shins around. So if you're looking for a nice center of gravity, you can do that if you wanted to. But yeah, overall, pretty solid figure. I do like him a lot. So that is going to do it for this review, guys. I want to thank you so very much for watching. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button if you, yeah, something. Hit that like button if you like the video. And, of course, subscribe if you want to see more. I don't know why I suddenly forgot my end of video spiel. But anyway, thanks again for watching, guys. I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.